So we will start the next topic in the fourth unit, that is ADC and DAC. So these two topics are the last two topics of this fourth unit. So today we will see the ADC part, and in the next class we will see the DAC. So basically, this ADC is analog to digital converter. So here, in case of a microprocessor, there are different components through which we are going to interface a digital system or any digital component or an analog component also. So in case of analog component, like some sensors are there. So sensors will be taking the data from the analog source, and it will be converting that analog source to a digital value. This digital value that will be in the form of voltage. So suppose a voice is there. So this voice in terms of, that is in terms of pressure, so that voltage will be an analog voltage, and that analog voltage will be converted to a digital value. Then only that voltage will be understandable to the microprocessor or any system that uses digital as a input. Okay, so there is a need of analog to digital converter and the same digital to analog converter. Okay, so this DAC is a digital to analog converter, is basically used for purposes. That means whenever we want to have a processing from analog input to analog input is there, and the processing should be done in digital form, then we need this in terms of digital signals. Okay, so if the processing will be in terms of digital signals, but at the output the signals would be in terms of analog. Okay, so if we are having a mic, so in that the variation in pressure will analog and that will be converted, and after digital value that will be processed in digital form only, and after processing the result will be in terms of a digital signal, but digital signal is not understandable to us. Okay, so that digital signal should be converted to an analog signal, that is taking place from a digital value to an analog. That analog value will be connected to this speaker. Okay, so this is how the conversion is required in case of processing. If we are going to have a processing through a microcontroller or through processor, we should be having requiring the analog to digital converter and digital to analog converter. So here some example is there given. Okay, so in that analog to digital conversion is there. In that there is a sensor and a signal conditioner. So whatever sensor is there, and along with that some signal conditioner is there. If signal strength is low, it will be amplifying it, and some other components will be there. So along with sensor, that will be accepting an analog data, and it will be converting this data to a voltage or current. That voltage or current will be processed so that it will be read by the analog to digital converter. So this analog to digital converter will be converting the analog value, that will be in terms of voltage or current. Okay, and this sensor will be converting an analog signal to a voltage or current. Okay, so this analog signal is converted to a voltage or value or a current value, and this voltage or current value will be converted in terms of analog value to a digital value, and this digital value, a system that will be processing that digital data, digital input. So that system will be a computer or any digital system. Okay, so any digital system and digital signal as an input. Okay, to this, and it will be but we need a as we want analog signal at the output, so we will again convert this signal to an analog by using the method called digital to analog converter. Okay, so this is how the conversion should be taking place. So in case of digital to analog conversion, a digital system is there, its output will be a digital value. Here the output will be a digital value. So this digital value will be considered as an input to the digital to analog converter, and that will be converting this digital value to this digital value means it will be in the form of 0 and 1s. Okay, so this is a digital value. This digital value will be accepted by this digital to analog converter, and this will be converting it into a voltage or in terms of current. That will be an analog value. That means it will be continuous in nature. Either it will be like this. So with respect to time, it will be continuous, but with respect to time, this will be a discrete value. Okay, this is a continuous value. So this will again, this is a voltage value, and then this voltage value will be processed and it will be considered as the analog signal. So it will be converted to an analog signal in terms of speaker is there. So there will be a voltage. This voltage will be converted to a pressure variation. This pressure variation will results in a voice through this speaker. Okay, so there will be some signal conditioning will be taking place. So this is how the analog to digital converter and digital to analog converter requires different system and components. Okay, so in terms of the first topic, we will see the ADC part. So the ADC part, its function is basically to convert or to produce a digital signal, and that digital signal will be representing the magnitude of any analog input signal that we have provided. Okay, so we have ADC. We will be providing an input that will be an analog input, and we will be getting an output. That output will be a digital value. So here digital value means it will be in the terms of zeros and ones. Okay, so there are different types of analog to digital converter. So we will see types of ADCs. So the first type of ADC is we call it flash ADC, or we call it parallel comparator ADC. Okay, so we call it flash ADC or parallel comparator ADC. The next one is a dual slope. We call it dual slope analog to digital converter. So the next one is dual slope analog to digital converter. The next one is SAR ADC. So basically this SAR is successive approximation register. Okay, so here the next one is successive approximation register, that is SAR type of ADC. So in this topic ADC part, we will see flash ADC, dual slope ADC, SAR ADC, SAR ADC. So all the three components we will be seeing. So the first we will see is flash ADC. So there are some differences between these type of ADCs. So what is the advantage and disadvantage? We will see that the first we will see is flash ADC, or we call it parallel comparator ADC. Okay. So this is the block diagram or the circuit diagram of this parallel ADC. Okay. So in parallel ADC, as the name suggests, parallel, that means there are different comparator circuits are there. So this C1, C2, C3, and so on. There are different components. Comparator components are there. So these comparators will be connected in parallel with each other. Okay. So there are different comparators. So these comparators is connected to, one is the reference voltage. Okay. So one will always be a reference voltage. So this is like this reference voltage will be a fixed value. So here suppose plus 4 volt is used. So this plus 4 volt will be used with different voltage divider circuit. So there is this resistor value is there. Okay. So this R is there, the lowest from the ground it will be R, then 2R, and then uh, again based on the comparison we can have suppose 2R, 2R, and here 3R. So these components can vary. Even we can make it 2R also. Okay. So there are different voltage divider circuit is basically. So this 4 volt is divided across the different comparator circuits are available. Okay. There are different comparator circuits. With respect to that, we will be dividing this 4 volt by using this register value. This is working as a voltage divider circuit like. Okay. So one of the input of this comparator will be connected to the reference uh, voltage. Okay. So this is like this is inverting node of this comparator that is connected to the reference circuit. This is the inverting node that is connected to reference. This is inverting node. This is connected to the reference value. Okay. So always this value, the upper comparator will be having a high value. So it will be high. This will be like H1 is there. This is H2, H3. Okay, so H3 will be lowest and this H1 will be highest because it is at the top of the voltage divider circuit. So this value will be highest. Okay, so this is highest value, and these values will be compared with the input value. This will be an analog input. So this in the comparator circuit, two inputs will be there. One will be the reference voltage, another one will be the input, analog input that we need to convert to the digital value. So that analog value will be connected to the positive terminal of or non-inverting terminal of the comparator. Okay, so this is the connection we will be making to all the comparator circuit. Okay, so here at the first time, at suppose a first clock cycle, the comparison will be made to the all comparator circuits available. So it will be comparing. So the input voltage will be compared with the highest value of reference voltage. Then some lower value it will be converted compared with here and again here. So based on the values, suppose this is 5 volt. Okay, or suppose not 5 volt because we have taken the reference voltage to 4 volt. So we will make it to like suppose this is 2 volt. 2 volt input we have taken. Okay, and this is 4 volt the reference circuit. So now we will compare it. Okay, so at the comparison, suppose this is the 3 volt because after a voltage divider there will be some voltage drop here and some lower voltage will be here. So suppose 3 volt is here and at this time it is 2 volt and here it is 1 volt. Okay, so how the output will be considered from the comparator is like it will be comparing 3 volt and this input voltage. So input voltage is 2 volt. So 2 volt and 3 volt will be converted compared, and after comparison we will be getting an output. So here this is the 3 volt and this is 2 volt. That means the value that is coming out to be at positive terminal is less, and at negative terminal it is high, so output will be 0 here. Okay, so in this terminal here both are like 1 2 and 2, so it is like we can make it to these are equal, so it will be again 0 value will be there. And here if it is 2 as input and 1 as a reference, so here it will be 1. So the bits that we will be obtaining is like this will be an MSB, so it will be 001. Okay, so this is 001 and this will be going to the power n minus 1. Like if it is n is equals to, suppose 3 is there, so to the power 3, that is 8 minus 1, that means we will be converting it to 3 to like 7 to 3 encoder. Okay, so this will be if n is n value we have taken 3. Okay, the last value, that is 8th pin, will be connected to a ground value. Okay, so this is how the comparison will be made. So its value is 001. So with respect to the 001, which bit need to be activated is like the first one. D0 is there, D1 will be activated. So this will be activated. Okay, so this is how it will be giving you out the conversion. So all the bits will be 000 and this will be 1. So based on the comparison, so basically this is encoder, or we call it priority encoder. Here we use priority encoder. So in priority encoder, what happens? Suppose this was the signal. Instead of this, suppose the signal is 110. So this is the signal. So what is the highest MSB value? Based on this MSB value, whatever will be the digital uh, signal will be there. With respect to that, it will be converting it. Okay. So here, instead of directly using the encoder, if we are using we can use encoder also, or we can use a priority encoder. If we are using encoder, we have to use here XOR gates. Okay, if we are using priority encoder, there is no need of XOR gate. Okay, so this is like a encoder will be used 3 to 7, 7 to 3 or 8 to 3. With respect to that, one will be grounded. Okay, so whatever value of comparator is there, with respect to that, it will be encoding this comparator component values to a digital form, and that will be giving it out in terms of digital value. Okay, so this is how the flash ADC or priority encoder or parallel comparator ADC is there. So its advantage we will see. So basically its advantage we will see. Its advantage is, as its name is flash ADC. So flash ADC means it is the fastest ADC, because it requires only one clock cycle will be required. Okay, so in the first clock cycle itself, all the comparisons will be made through all the comparator circuit, and the output will be uh, taken from the output. Okay, so this is the fastest one, but its disadvantage is like, as it is having uh, the requirement of this comparator circuit is like, if n is high, that means if n is equals to, that n is equal, suppose n is equals to 1. So if n is equals to 1, we can have 2 to the power, if n is equals to 1, it is having 2 to the power 1 minus 1, that means uh, one comparator circuit will be required if and one bit require one bit conversion need to be done. If n is equals to 2, then 2 to the power 2 minus 1, that means 4 minus 1, that is 3 comparator will be required. So if n is equals to 3 is there, that means 2 to the power 3 minus 1, that means 7 comparators will be required. If n is equals to 4, it is 2 to the power 4 minus 1, that means 15 comparator will be required. So as we are going to increase the n value, the comparator required will be very high. Okay, So if comparator requirement is very high, then we should be saying like the requirement for the hardware is very high. So there is very high or large number of hardware is required in case of flash ADC. Okay, so here it is like you can call it like the disadvantage is large hardware is required, or you can call it large number of comparators are required. Okay, so large number of comparators are required in case of flash ADC. Okay, so this is easily to implement in terms of implementation. We can call it. It is easy to implement. We can call it is the fastest one because it requires only one clock cycle, but it is having the hardware requirement in terms of flash ADC is very high. So we will be uh, keeping this into the mind, like which we need to require, we need to use with respect to our requirement. Okay, the next one is that we have seen. The next one is dual slope ADC. So in this dual slope ADC, this is the circuit diagram of this dual slope ADC. So in that circuit diagram, we have an analog. We always be requiring in case of analog to digital converters. We will always be requiring a reference voltage. Okay. So in that reference voltage, basically that reference voltage will be used to compare the analog input signal that we are providing. So here also an analog input will be there, and for comparison purpose there will be a reference voltage. So this analog input voltage will be given to an integrator circuit. So this is an integrator circuit. We will be providing this circuit to this analog input to an integrator circuit, and whatever result will be there, that will be given to the comparator. So after integration, that means we will be basically going to find out the slope basically. Okay, so here whatever value is there, so whatever the analog value is there, that will be compared to uh, uh, the comparator after in going through the integrator. Okay, so this integrator is basically like if we are having a positive analog voltage, then the after integrator the output will be a negative value because it is inverting type of integrator. It is connected to a positive. So input, we are providing input to the inverting terminal, so output will be in terms of negative. So if we are providing positive input, output will be negative. If we are providing negative input, output will be positive. Okay, and that output will be compared with respect to 0. Okay, so if it is positive, the comparator output will be 1. If it is negative, that means it will be 0. So if it is negative, that means it will be 0. That is, if it is this output analog input voltage is positive, then this is a negative value, and if it is negative value, then here it will be coming out to be a uh, negative value. Okay, that means a 0 value. Will see. So whatever comparator output will be there, that will be going through this up counter basically. So up counter will be activated if this we are getting a 1 value. Okay, so if the comparator output is coming out to be 0, then this will be value, this value will be 1, and then up counter will be activated. And with respect to this up counter, there will be a control switch control basically. So here the switch control says like the switch should be connected to either analog input voltage or a reference voltage that will be based on the uh, you can say the logic that we are obtaining through this control circuitry. Okay, and here at the up counter, so whatever up counting is going to be, that will be stored and that will be considered as the digital output. So with respect to the analog signal, there will be a digital equivalent in terms of the counting. So how many times this counter is going to be activated, that will be making sure like what is the digital value of the analog input. Okay, so here in dual slope, basically we can call it we call it dual slope. Why we call it a dual slope? Because in case of a dual slope, there is an integrator. Okay, so here, okay, if we plot the output voltage, okay, so this we output with respect to time. If we are plotting, so if initially we are providing a negative value, then the output okay, so this is the value when your time is ta. Suppose at ta, this will be the output. The input we are providing, if input is negative, then output will be a positive value coming out to be here. So it will be a maximum value. After this maximum value, after this maximum value, reference voltage, okay, and this is the time called tb. So here there are two different type of slopes are used. Like one will be a positive slope, another one is a negative slope. So that's why it is called a dual. This maximum value is coming out to be va divided by rc into at ta time whatever the ta value is there. So with respect that, that will be the value output voltage will be coming out to be. Okay, so if this is case when input v input is a negative value, then this will be the result. If v a is a positive value, then the result will be opposite to that. So in that case, so here this will be the time, and here this will be the output. So in that case, if va is positive, then the comparator output will be this integrator output will be a negative value. This will be your ta and this will be your tb. So this is the case of a different type of input, analog input we have considered. So basically how this comparison is basically done, we will see that. Okay, so if we say, so basically to start the conversion here, the control circuitry, basically first of all control circuitry that we have used, it will reset the counter. The first uh, the starting point of the conversion is basically it will be resetting the this counter. This resetting means the counter value will be coming out to be a 0, and once this resetting is done, then this control switch control circuitry will connect the analog input to the resetting this resetting, it will be converting connecting that analog input to the integrator. So if it is connected to integrator, the integrator output will be given by like VOT from 0 to TA. So for TA time, there will be a consideration, or we call it in general case, we can write it like, for general case, if it is general integration, it will be from 0 to T time. Okay, so here the VA and integrating it with DT. So once we will be making its integration, it is coming out to be like VA divided by RC into T. So this is the okay. So this output at T is equals to TA time will be given out to be 0 V0 TA is equals to VA divided by RC into TA. So this is the value that is indicated by the graph here. So VA RC into TA, that is the maximum value. Okay, at TA time. Okay. Okay. So after comparison, so the first one is like, if it is a negative value, so output here will be a positive value. This positive value is there, then the output will be 0. If this is high, this is positive value, this is coming out to be high. Just a minute. Okay, so this is coming out to be a high value here, because it is a positive value, this is high, then here it will be a negative output. That means a 0 output will be there. So this 0 will be making sure like this this is a clock at the time is 0. So this is coming out to be 1. So this will activate the up counter. So once this up counter is activated, then it will be making the MS. So this counter is like, it will be making MSB to 1. So the MSB bit of this counter will be made to 1. Okay, so with respect to that, whatever component is there, so this MSB is made to 1. Okay, the next time it will be connecting this control switch, will be making sure like it will be connecting this terminal to the reference voltage. Okay, and with respect to that, it will be converting this reference voltage uh, after TA time. After TA time, it will be connecting this switch to a reference voltage. So with respect to that, we will be converting the output. So the output, and this output, when we are having uh, we are connecting the switch to the reference voltage, will be coming out to be VA TA divided by RC minus 1 by RC integration. So we are integrating between TA to T value, okay, to the reference voltage. So this is the reference voltage value. Okay. So the final value we will be getting is VATA divided by RC minus VR T minus TA divided by RC. So after integration, this value we will be getting. Okay. So here the output of so here we can see like the output of integrator will be decreasing linearly from its value after TA time. So after TA time, this will be the output. So in that case, the decreasing value. So in increasing through this curve, we can see into this curve. Initially, it was increasing, but after TA time, when we have switched the input from an analog input to a reference voltage, its output will be switching to so from there that can uh, curve, and once it is going to switch downward, it will become 0, which changes the basically the output of the comparator to a high state. Okay, so as we are going to connect, so if this becomes 0, the 1, and when this is 1, this will be coming out to be 0, and then this will stop the counting. Okay, so the counter will stop, so that will be the end of the operation. So basically the start of the operation is basically when control circuitry connected the analog input to the integrator input, and after that, after a time when MSB has become 1, it will be switching the connection from the analog input to the reference voltage, and this reference voltage output will be such that its integrated output will be decreasing value, and it will be keep on decreasing such that comparator output becomes 1, and once this is 1, this up counter will stop, and at that time whatever value of this uh, up counter is there, that will be your digital equivalent of the analog signal. Okay, so from there we can get a relation like the analog value that is basically converted is given in terms of the analog value will be in terms of the m factor and the reference voltage divided by 2 to the power n minus 1. So this is the value of this analog value, and here this m is basically the number of clock pulses. So m will be the number of required. Okay, so this is number of clock pulse basically required, or we call it counted in the time period of uh, TB minus TA. So whatever time period is there between TA and TB, at that time period, whatever is the clock counting or the counter is counting, that will be m value. So with respect to that m value, the VA value will be the proportionality. That means with respect to VA, whatever analog value is there, that will be proportional to m value, like how many times the counting. So the counting will be basically done minus TA time. Initially, it was like at up to TA time, the uh, slope was a positive value. Okay, so initially the positive value slope was there with respect to VA, and once it is connected to reference voltage, it is going to the time is there has been done, that counting value will be coming out to be proportional with respect to the analog value. Okay, so this is how we go with a dual slope ADC. So here we can see like, okay, and this m is clock pulse required, or clock pulse number of clock pulse counted between TB minus TA. So the counter that will be proportional with. So this is how the dual slope ADC works. Okay. The next component is the third one that we will see, that is called successive approximation register ADC. So in case of successive approximation register type of ADC, so here this is the block diagram. So basically we will be having a successive approximation register value. Okay, so with respect to that, there will be equivalent conversion of analog signal to this equivalent conversion in terms of the digital value, and this digital value will be like converted to digital to analog. So whatever digital value is there, that will be converted to an analog value, and this analog value will be considered as a reference voltage. So this will be here a reference voltage. So reference voltage is directly compared with the equivalent analog signal. So initially the first is the start of operation. So start of operation, once start of operation will be activated, this approximation will be making sure like it will basically suppose it is a 4-bit. So if it is 4-bit means 4 lines will be there. So if 4 lines are there, like it will be 0 0 0 to 1 1 1 1 to maximum. So initially when the start of operation will be there for 4-bit ADC SAR ADC, the initial value will be coming out to be 1000. So MSB will be activated to 1 once the start is done, and this will be done when this analog to analog value is compared to this basically this is the 0. So whatever analog value is there, that will be converted, compared, and this will be coming out to be positive. So if it is positive, that means it will be 1. So if it is 1, the MSB will be 1. MSB will be made 1. So at the first clock, this will be the value. Next one is decided based on the value of the comparator. So once it is 1, so that means, and this reference voltage that is coming out to be is suppose this is a 4-bit. So suppose reference voltage that we have taken is 16 volt. So with respect to 1 bit, 1 volt value will be there. Okay. So if it is initially after conversion, the 100 is the bit after conversion. So this will indicate a value of 8 volt, because this is the reference voltage, 16 volt is the reference voltage, then 1000 will be coming out to be 8 volt. So this 8 volt value will be compared to, so suppose this is 12 volt. Initially suppose input voltage V input, analog input is 12 volt. So initially it is 12 volt and it was 0 initially. So it is high, so it will be activated to 1. So this 1 means we have to increase the MSB to 1. We will be increasing MSB to 1. So after MSB increasing to 1, the value will be 1000. So this 1000 value will be equivalent to 8 volt if we are going to pass through this digital to analog converter. So it is going to convert a digital value to an analog value. Okay. So 000 will be equivalent to 8 volt. So this 8 volt will be compared with again 12 volt. So again it is compared after comparison. So again 12 volt is higher. So it is 1. So again it is 1. It is 1 to the successive approximation register. 1 will be provided. That means it will again increase the MSB. So here there are two conditions. Either like reference voltage is greater than analog voltage, or reference voltage is less than analog voltage. So reference voltage is greater than analog voltage. This is not satisfied. This is not satisfied. This is satisfied. So because reference voltage is less than analog voltage, then the after conversion, the next will be, initially we have considered one MSB. The next MSB bit will be activated. That like next MSB bit will be made to 1. Okay. So this is how the conversion is going to take place. Now there will be two possibilities. Then analog voltage, or is greater than analog voltage. Okay. So here, if it is 1100, so this will be coming out to be like basically is out to be like a reference divided by 16 plus a reference divided by 8. This is the bits. D3, D2, D1, D0. So it is like 1100. So it is 1 1. So these two are 1 1. That means it's out. So it is like 1 by 16 plus 1 by 8 into the 16, that is reference voltage. So we can make it to 3 by 16 into 16. Okay. Okay. So this is how we will be making. Okay. So it is like 8 plus 3. So that is this is equals to 11 volt basically. So if it is 11 volt, that means again in the same second case it is 11 volt. So in the next comparison 12 is greater than 11, so again it will be 1. Okay. So in the case of this, so reference voltage is less than this one, so again we will be making the MSB to 1. So this will be made to 1. Here this was the made to 1. So this is not satisfied, this one is satisfied again, so this will be the case. In the next case, again we will be converting it here. So suppose this is 1110. So this is coming out to be like it is 4. So 4 16 into 16, so it will be 17 volt. 8 plus 7, that is 15 volt. So this is coming out to be 15 volt. So this 15 volt is like it is higher than this, so it will be coming out to be 0. So it is coming out to be 0, that means the MSV will not be activated. So this is not satisfied. So the second case is not satisfied. So second case is not satisfied. So this will be satisfied. So if this is the satisfied case, if this is the satisfied case, so instead of MSB increasing, what we will do is we will be converting it to 0. This one is converted to 0 and this will be activated. Okay. So this is how the conversion is basically made. So once it is satisfying this condition, like it is 1, it will be MSB will be keep on increasing. If it is not satisfying, the MSB will be increased value will be reset, and the next LSB value will be activated. So this will be the activated. So this is basically like if it is a 4-bit ADC, SAR ADC, then here 4 clock cycles will be used. This is the property of this SAR ADC. So how much bit requirement is there with respect to that? That much of clock is required basically. Okay. So here after 4 clock, this will be the output 1101. So this will be the digital made. Okay. So this be coming out to be the last value. So after 4th clock cycle, whatever value will be there, this is the only value. So this value will be considered as the end of operation signal. So start of operation will be done. Start of comparison conversion signal. So that will be operation. The comparison will be done. So in case of SAR type of ADC, it is its advantage is like it is simple to implement, and also it takes less time and less hardware is required. So in terms of advantage, we can call it okay, simple to design and less time is required. Okay, so here less time is required. If we talk about hardware requirement, less hardware is required. If less hardware is required means low power dissipation will be there. Okay, and also one of the advantages is its accuracy is high. It is highly accurate. Its accuracy is high. Okay, less time is required. We can call it low latency. We can call it. We can call it low latency. Low latency means low time is required. So these are the different advantages of this as successive approximation register. This is a timing diagram how the timing takes place. And after fourth clock cycle, so first, second, third, fourth, the fifth will be the end of operation. Okay, end of conversion end. Okay, so this will be the indication like whatever output will be there at this signal, that will be considered as the end of operation. It will always be converting, comparing basically, and after comparison, it will make sure like whatever the analog value will be coming out to be close to this analog value. Okay, so different bits are there, 4 bits. How these 4 bits will be activated, this is given here. Okay, so these are the examples of that conversion, 4-bit different values conversion has been taken place. Okay, so this was all about the ADC part. In the next lecture we will see the DAC part. Okay.